comes from Maya, Blue Cross, or the plan itself, Blue Medicare Rx, and I'll give you a schedule of what that is, you please keep that on hand. Keep it in a file cabinet, wherever you may be. If you're traveling or someone who's away, maybe someone's checking your mail or getting it forwarded, but many of the snowbirds I know are back sooner than they probably want to be, but just in time for the meeting. Thank you. Now, in looking at medication management therapy, I'm not going to go into detail on this, but some of you don't have the same cases as everyone else. Some people in this room take no drugs. Don't raise your hand, because then people are real jealous of you, okay? Some of you take a few. Some of you take too many to mention, all right? Some of you take generics. Some of you can only take brand names. And then some of you take the highest level of drug because there's no other that works for you or that's available on the market yet for your condition. Completely understandable. Some of you have had to go through various scenarios to get your drug or to be on it. We'll talk a little bit about that because not everybody's world in prescriptions is the same as everyone else's. But I think some of you who have more complex cases will want to see us at the end when we shut off the mic and discuss those with you. And obviously, like we said today, in making your choice on the medical side, this side is not a choice, but we have enrollment forms available. We'll talk a little bit about that and the logistics before you go so you know what's coming and what steps to take. Sound good enough? Now, looking at the numbers on this, I always say the nuts and bolts are on page 5. What's my out-of-pocket, Monica? What do I do? Besides my Part B, reimbursed at 60%, my premium from the community, which is listed on that Save the Date memo, and then Jen handed out another one. So that tells you what your premium is. It's per individual, by the way, as it was before with the GIC. These plans are not family-based. You know that retiree plans are individually based as it's based on individual eligibility. So it's always spouse, retiree, or retiree spouse for ID cards, the benefits themselves. If you are solo in the room, then you worry about party of one. Now, looking at this prescription drug plan, the 30-day supply, 90-day supply, or 90-day supply, you'll see how it's listed on the right, and then the tiering model. I call these buckets, I call them categories, or I call them levels. Fancy word is tiering. Like we said, generic, brand name, or non-preferred. Generic, you all know what that is. Brand name, the next step up. And non-preferred, likely not a generic available on the market yet for that, but there could be one coming soon. We call those the designer drugs, higher class of drugs, and tend to be for the most complicated illnesses. They might be for rheumatoid arthritis, MS, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, etc. But if you are on one of those drugs today, likely you will be moving forward. But if you can take generics, then you are a lucky individual. With this, you will see your world is a copay world, and I'm going to say that a couple times today. Your world is a copay world. Do you have a deductible on this plan? What's the answer? Head shake. No. Again, I'm going to say it. Is there a deductible? There is no deductible on this plan. It is copays. You have an initial coverage phase. Many phases in the marketplace or plans make seniors pay a deductible up front. Yours does not. You start with copays. Is there a gap or a donut hole in this plan? Again, shake of the head, no. No. No gap, no donut hole. That is the second phase on the plan. It is also covered by copayments. Initial phase, copayments. Gap phase, copayments. Then there's also a level called catastrophic. Someone very ill in the room